I have interviewed more than 48 IITians, rejected 47 of them. One, I am just given a condition that if he's able to solve this problem, we'll be able to join. Because many startups in our country are in a thought process that, man, the talent is chunk. One bad hire can pull your company down by 200%. One right hire can boost your company by 20-30%. People used to consider me I'm very dominative when I work in groups because I want to make the product better. Like I just have to satisfy two people in my life. My 6-year-old self and my 60-year-old self. I come from a South Indian Orthodox family. Whenever I used to say I want to do business, you keep your mouth shut. Your cousin's dad failed here. Somebody of my known person failed there.
Yeah, one person from the town just failed and now the whole town cannot do business. Hi Gokul, how's it going?
Everything fine? What about you, Vansh?
Yeah, same here, man. So first of all, for the audience, we are just meeting here for the first time online, and my friend Ron connected me to him, and I just got to know about your platform, man, which is the eval8.ai, right?
Yes, evaluate.ai.
Yeah, yeah. So before going into that, I just want to know from you, like, just like for the audience, give me a little bit of your background and what you have, like, just give me a background now, like a simple introduction to you, for from your side to the audience.
Okay. This is
Yeah,
Gokul. My full name is Gokul Kumar Vishwanathan. I hail from
yeah,
South India,
yeah.
and running office across Pune as well as Bangalore. And we have built up quite a good tech team. Okay, great
Mm-hmm.
engineers working with us. And I'd been a
Mm-hmm.
corporate trainer from the age of 21. I had been training companies like product-based companies like Lumen Infotech, Hindustan Unilever, Wipro, TCS, Toriaris, a lot of service-based as well as product-based companies coming into the picture. Even Deloitte as well as Amdocs and other companies. Coming from that corporate training standpoint, I had been wondering like how do we make this process faster? So I had
Yeah,
been the youngest person in the room in most of the cases when I'm training companies. I would be
yeah.
21, 22, and people attending the training would be of 21, 22, or even more years of experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I used to be always like, thank you, folks. My age is lesser than your years of experience, and I've been training you and
Yeah.
stuff. So I had been into this zone always, and from there, I had been into the curious mode. From my college time itself, I would be like into a lot of projects. I would be hiring or taking up some dumb folks in my team just to prepare Word docs, PPT, and boring things. But
Yeah.
I used to be more into the real things. So I used to be building the projects and stuff.
Yeah.
And in first year, I happened to get a Google award in my college club. Second year, I got a
Great.
award from IIT Bombay. It was 1.25 lakh rupee drone. Third year, got into research paper and stuff. Fourth year, got a patent and did internship in Philips, Veroc Polymers, Jai Hind. Philips got taken over by Vishay by then, so I got the certificate of Vishay, not Philips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those were the things that came into the picture. So
Mm-hmm.
after this, went into the college, and after the college, there was COVID time when I graduated, 2021. And
Mm-hmm.
when I graduated, at that point of time, there were no like mechanical companies were like, no, we will let you know even if we give you offer letters, but we'll let you know the joining date. So joining letter were not being released at that point of time, and I
Okay.
was getting into what do you call into building softwares and stuff. So I thought, let us register a company, let us try it out, and got an order from the place where I purchased these specs. So that guy was paying me around 800 rupees a year, and then
Okay.
guy came 800 rupees a year, including maintenance and stuff. Okay, it was hardly a profit of 20 rupees a month. But I am sure that I took it on my own. I took printouts of pamphlets and I was giving it to everybody. So this was the first known customer for me. And after that, I got into a stationery shop. That guy was paying me 500 rupees a month. And then I got into a Cafecino Hub. That is a coffee shop. I thought, let me make a like what do you call a software for them. They can order POS software. So that was like giving me around 3,000 a month. That guy
Mm-hmm.
was good enough giving me 3,000. I got motivated. I was like, okay, let me onboard hundreds of them and we'll make 3 lakhs a month. I'll show it
Yeah.
to my dad that yes, boss, even if I get placed, I would be getting 3 LP or 4 LPA. I'll be getting 3 lakhs per month. But first customer, great, 3,000 rupees. Second customer, bargain 2,500. Third customer was like, he was completely into a zone. He was like 3,000 for a year or for a month. I was like, no, sir, it's for a month. You get all these things. And he's like, paid puja will solve this problem. Why do you need this? So, listening to my background, you'll be understanding that I'm coming
Yeah.
from this kind of a zone. Okay, and
Yeah.
then my dad thought I'm unemployed, so I had to get into TCS.
Got it.
All my
Yeah,
friends were
I.
placed, yeah. And people, I see when your friends get placed, especially one of my very close friend. See, when you
Mhm.
get placed, please just call your friends and inform you're placed. Okay, don't come to their house, give sweets to their parents who is unemployed.
Yeah,
That created a very big issues for me. Okay,
I actually thought that was like just like a ritualistic dogma thing. But does it actually happen that people come to your home with sweets that, oh, I got placed? It's just like, oh, I got first in the class.
yeah, that's what. So all
Yeah,
my friends
that's a
getting placed
ridiculous.
into, yeah, all my friends getting placed into Cognizant, Wipro, this one Accenture and stuff, and I am like, my God, man, I am trying something. And I come from a South Indian Orthodox family where
Okay.
business is almost they'll say no to it. They'll not even listen to it. Kind of a bad word. So
Yeah,
it's like this.
got it.
Whenever I used to say, hey, I want to do business, hey, you keep your mouth shut. Your cousin's dad failed here. Somebody of my known person failed there.
One person from the town, yeah, one person from the town just failed, and now the whole town cannot do the business.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it happens. So coming up from that kind of background and doing things, so but it was really challenging for me. Yes, it is benefiting my younger brother right now. So now he don't have to convince that much how much I had to, and he has a strong base stuff. So I had been visiting companies from my seventh standard, by the way. So
Regarding what?
regarding like I used to go during my holidays. I visited Cadbury, Mother Dairy, in my
Oh.
seventh standard, eighth standard. In my ninth standard, I remember I went to Raymond, JK Raymond, where the textile manufacturing actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been into Asia. I had been into Class India in Chandigarh. So these are the companies I had been visiting from my childhood. So through known
Mm-hmm.
people, sometimes with my dad and stuff. So I used to understand how the things actually work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting actually, because basically what you're communicating to me, and the thing being communicated to the audience as well, is that you had an interest from a really young age, even before anyone sort of pushed you towards into that direction, right? Yeah. So when I looked into you, like just like a plain thing from LinkedIn, so you graduated from MIT Pune, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did 3 internships. I think it was like 6 months, 3 months, then like a year or something, and then you had a job at TCS, I think.
Yeah, but apart
Correct?
from that, there are certain things that is not being mentioned. From my second year, I had been working in a company. My college
Mm-hmm.
timings were 9 to 4, and I used to go to that company at 5 o'clock every day, sharp evening. I used to go home at
Okay.
12.
Mm-hmm.
So that company name is Bharati Robotic Systems.
Okay.
They make cleaner bots and stuff, semi-automated and automated robots.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
these kind of things I used to do. I used to participate in competitions. I used to sell my projects to seniors. I used to get paid for it. Even my first year classmates who were in third year, I had built some projects for them. That guy took me to Subway and Barbecue Nation. His name is Abhishek. So works
Yeah.
for me. Amazing thing. My dad never used to give me money to go for movies and Subway. But
Mm-hmm.
I made sure I was able to get it compensated with my friends.
Yeah, that's actually like a push, from the parents as well. Like, if your parents are not giving you money, you already have a push from yourself. Like, I need to make money for myself. That's
Yeah.
actually a really good push. By the way, just like a random question from you. What do you think my age is? Like, can you guess what my age is? My
Your
age.
age, yeah, age
Yeah.
23?
No.
Younger.
Yeah.
Okay. My God. Great. Amazing. So 19.
Yeah. 19.
Perfect. So second guess, I made it right.
Yeah. 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 I'm only 19. So the thing you told me about, like, you like went to different offices of different companies from seventh grade. So when I started my business, I was only 17. Do you know I have a business? Like, I own Mango Finds, and we started as like a real estate marketing company, and we did that for about a year, and then we figured out like this is not good for us.
No,
Like the
I
growth.
got that name when you sent me an email for this invitation,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, okay, let us explore about this platform. Amazing
yeah, yeah,
website
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So Mango Finds is basically when we started, being honest, there was no, like, you are very, like, you seem very innovative and stuff, but we were not very innovative and stuff. We were just like, we just need to make money. That's it. That was the whole liver, that we just need to make money. That's it. So when we started as like a real estate marketing company. We did that for about 1 year, and then we switched to different sort of, like, we tried different stuff. Then we went to do short form content, and now finally we have arrived at the place where we think like we're in the right direction. So right now, Mango Finds does is podcast post production for foreign podcasts, not Indian podcasts, because most of their budgets are quite low. Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's where we landed, and it's been about 2 years since I've been in business. yeah. So that's just little bit stuff about me. And similar to you, I just sort of had no interest in college, so I sort of set that aside and just started this with one of my friends who was sort of available and also wanted to make money. Like that's
Great,
the
amazing.
yeah, that's the whole criteria for that, right? I just want to know one thing else as well. When you say that you were going to companies from 7th grade and you did so many internships and you did a job as well, then you started this, what was the one thing which like sort of pushed you, like I want to explore this? Like, was it money? Like, what's the primary factor there? Is it money? Is it just love for the game of tech? Is it social cues? Some, like, what is it?
I had always, person who would think, I'll see a product and I'll just try to understand how it works, what
Okay.
goes inside, how it happens, is it motors, is it operations, and how the things work. So from my
Mm-hmm.
childhood, I had been into that. So I was always been curious about that. So that's how made me more curious. There was one video launched by Amazon, Smart E-commerce Market, where
Yeah.
people just go pick some items from the shelf and it gets added to their cart. I was wondering
Hmm.
how does this work. I went into depression and I was just thinking because I was not able to figure out the tech. My dad was in
Ah.
my room and he was like, "Hey, what happened? What went wrong? You're almost crying." I was like, "No, I'm just trying to understand why it is not working. I'm Googling, I'm going to Stack Overflow, I'm Googling, I'm thinking, is it sensor? Is it image recognition?" After 3 years, I came to know that there's a company in Bihar. So that each employee gets into that office and tracks all the customers that comes into that smart mall of Amazon, and they will
Mm-hmm.
be rolling out the cameras individually, and they'll be manually adding items in the cart based upon what they pick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is a very very big scam that has happened. Amazon did this for raising funds.
Okay.
Yeah, and opening up this in podcast, so you can definitely Google it up.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
yeah.
how
Of
things are.
course, of course. I want to know, after your college, when you were doing internships and jobs, was that something in your mind like I need to do this to gain experience and then I will start something of my own, or was it just like I just need to do this and we'll figure out it later? Like, do if you want to start a business.
I was falling in love with what I was doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in my first year, not many people are non-academic like me. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody were focused on how do I make 9 CGP, 8 CGP, and all those
Yeah.
things. And I was like, how do I make the product better, and how do I make the things better, and
Hmm.
understand how the things goes in. And I'm very, very kind of a people used to consider me. I'm very dominative when I work in groups because I want to make the product better. I mean,
Yeah,
the
because
project better.
you're the guy who, I like, from what I've heard until now, I think you were the guy who takes a deep dive into stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing, because when you're telling me, like, because you're not obligated to do all this stuff, but you're still doing it with such interest and such depth, that obviously you'll be dominated because you have the most interest and the most invested person in your stuff, in this like in anything you do. So of course you'll be dominative in that because nobody else is that interested in it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So they were more interested towards how do we quickly finish it up, make our
Yep.
get our grades, get our marks. But I was
Yeah.
more into how do I make the things go
Yeah.
deeper, deeper. How do
Mm-hmm.
we make the product better or project better? I never used to
Mm-hmm.
consider it as a project. I always used to consider it as a product because you see all the ideas that I've been working on. My first year college project was e-scooter that you put up a Arduino Uno with motor driver and motors. You stand on the cart and the cart will move on its own with the motors attached. That is a
Hmm.
e-scooter first year project. Second year was an automated bail maker.
Yeah, I saw that automated bail
Yeah,
maker. I saw
that
that
is
is
a
on
second year
LinkedIn as
project.
well. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
pay via
Then
Paytm.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
published some research papers as well, right?
yeah. I published in a research paper, review research paper.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
published in world's number one publication, Springer.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, no surprise. Some companies called me through that research paper. They called me and said, "How do we commercialize our research papers and stuff?" Because in India, not many are commercializing research papers.
Yeah.
If you see Google, Apple kind of companies, even Claude, even ChatGPT, they would
Mm-hmm.
be publishing research paper, doing fundamental marketing about their product as well, and they'll be commercializing those research papers. They
Hmm.
get paid for it. They get paid directly or indirectly for it, and they involve a lot of PhD people, students of Harvard, Stanford, and to include in their research, and they publish it really really go deeper into it, and they do it. I not only
Yeah.
publish my research paper, I help a couple of my friends to publish one. So that's how I'm more excited towards kind of ideas and stuff. I rarely used to discuss any sort of movies or serials with my friends. Mostly it would be
Okay.
about ideas and funny ideas. We used to
Yeah,
do
whatever
things.
you're interested in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, was like since you went to MIT Pune, so I would just want to ask you this because I have a pretty extreme opinion about this. But yeah, was college beneficial to you in a sort of growth way or in sort of monetary way?
Okay, I should. I don't know whether I can open it up or not, but
Okay.
they allowed me to blast 2, 3 test tubes within
Yeah.
a chemistry
Okay.
lab. Did a
Okay.
short circuit in my college. Did wheelie. Made a slight dent in my HOD's car.
Oh
So
my God.
apart from that, yeah, hacked 3 girls' phones in my college time, and hacked
What do
one
you?
of my
What does
faculty's
that
phone.
mean?
Yeah, I hacked their phones. So
Okay.
yeah, so it is like penetrating your phones with some sort of dummy data that will make your phone overloaded and
Oh.
clogged.
Oh.
So it
Okay.
will. I was such kind of a person from my college times,
Damn. Damn.
and used to always try to think about how this problem can be solved. See, you come from a perspective of this. I was already into a zone where I couldn't clear JE. I couldn't clear
Oh.
JE Advance. My dad spent boom in coaching classes,
I
and
know, I know. Even I got scammed by one of the coachings. I won't name
yeah.
it, but yeah. So what happened with me was I went there after 10th because I had scored pretty good in 10th, and I just went there. I went there for a month, and it's the green one. I won't name it, but it's the green one. You know what I mean, right?
Mhm.
The green coaching.
Yeah.
So it's India wide, the biggest coaching in India, right?
Which
So I
one?
went there, the green one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. I won't name it because yeah. So I went there for a month and I instantly got super depressed. And I'll tell you why. Because every day I was going into this coaching and it's just about the environment. First of all, their classes are really big, 100, kids in one class on average,
Yeah. Yeah.
Secondly, when you go in there, everybody's wearing green t-shirts and people are just walking in, going by, walking in, going by. Rarely someone is talking, and the people who are talking about are in the last bench in the last batch. So that's not beneficial, right? So
Same
you're
here.
not really with them. Yeah, you're not. It's not beneficial for your studies and stuff. So I got instantly depressed. So I was just like in the first month I was like, get me out of there. I won't choose this stream. I don't want to do science. I'll just do commerce. Because it was clear for me like I wanted to do business and business can be done without any of this, right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately business is all about just figuring out stuff from step 1 to step 100 to step 1000.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, that's how it's been for me as well.
Yeah.
So I quit from there. I went into commerce, and yeah, that was about it. Like it made me instantly depressed because of the environment specifically. Because teachers were there, but they were not really personalizing. Teaching 100 kids at once, it doesn't really.
And they don't talk in a human being perspective. They'll be like,
Yeah,
do it for 16 hours, do it for 18 hours. Why do you want to
yeah,
sleep? Why do you want to eat? Why do you want to breathe?
it's
It's
bullshit,
that's
bro.
that's how they'll be
Yeah,
talking about.
16 hours can only be done by a person who's actually interested in it. Because if you're just aiming for a job and you're just going through this stuff, 16 hours is not easy to do. That will be just torture if you're not interested in this stuff.
Yeah, and if anybody is doing that, I wonder where are these AIR ones going in. I don't see any of the AIR one becoming top CEO of any company, creating any dent on
Because
this planet.
yeah, because
So
they've
I had
already had
been
so much brain damage by
yeah.
sitting for 16 hours at one
Yeah,
place.
so I had tried to track few of them. Where are these AIR one going? Because I had to listen to a lot of my dad's taunts, mom's taunts, and everything. Even my cousins used to mock me.
Oh
Hey,
my
what
God.
man? You didn't clear JE and stuff. And I went into MIT, AOE, Pune
Yeah.
by great difficulty, to be honest. Just a minute score gap, and I got into mechanical branch. So that is one more big thing that has happened in my life. So
Yeah.
and I was still wondering, I was doing the research, Googling out them, trying to find them on LinkedIn. I don't see
Hmm.
any great innovation coming up from them, like from the AR
Hmm.
one. Mostly they'll go into PhD, they'll do some doctorate, they'll get paid for those projects.
Because they've already invested themselves so much in the studies at this point
In
that they
theory,
can't, yeah, in theory or in just studies at this point, that they can't think after it. It's like a horse with blinkers. Horse with blinkers that you just see this way, you know?
correct. And all
I
those JE teachers also, I try to understand. I went to one of the teacher and I tried to ask him, sir, you are NIT and IIT, and why do you have to spend your time in training students?
Mhm.
Is it because you didn't get a job, or it's really you are passionate in training people?
Is it
So
you
he,
did you said that.
Yeah, I
You
asked
didn't
him.
get a
No, when
job.
I went to college. No, when I went to college. If I tell this in my coaching class, I'll be done. Then they'll send an
Yeah.
email to my parents. They'll target me in the class and stuff. Already the targeting used to happen. I was the only South Indian guy in the entire class. So yeah,
Is that really something people target you about?
targeting in the sense, say for example, if few faculties come and speak in Marathi, and I am not
Mm-hmm.
that comfortable with it.
Yeah, of
I try
course.
to understand because till my 10th I was in Air Force school, so I had to
Mm-hmm.
only go through Hindi. I wasn't much
Hmm.
fluent with Marathi. Target in the sense if they speak something in Marathi, it was humorous for other people, and I wasn't getting that stuff.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
happens. See, the point is you just need to somehow engage the class. You get
Yeah.
it engaged, right? And I was always being I don't know what to tell that teachers have targeted me or something, but I was being cornered in the class because my used to be a little bit sensitive guy as usual.
Yeah.
You come from south and you're hailed from an orthodox family, you would be more sensitive. So people used to take advantage of it. I used to be cornered. I was bullied a lot. So
Yeah.
that had been opened up in a very different way from the first year of my college, that I wouldn't listen to anybody. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
allow anybody to take over my emotion stuff. So I was
Mm-hmm.
very clear about what I wanted to do. Bunk karna hai class, I'll be bunking the class. I'll be going out. I'll be doing whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that kind of an opening that has happened, I was a little bit rude to a lot of people, including faculties and stuff. So that
Yeah.
was, people used to judge me that I'm a rude guy having a great attitude and
Mm.
stuff. But it comes from
Yeah.
your past experience.
Yeah, I think, totally. Like, I agree with you hard here because I've realized that a lot of people, when how a lot of people behave is rooted in their past traumas or how they were treated back then. And like, you have to work on yourself to like get that identity of yourself out of your brain because a lot of the times people are not even thinking about you that a certain way, but your self image does that to you that, oh, what is he thinking about me? Maybe he's thinking this, maybe he's thinking that, you have to work on that as well over time and create a new identity for yourself. Yeah,
Now
that's
I don't.
interesting.
Now I don't much care about it because
Yeah,
let them think whatever.
because you built yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
simple.
you've built yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only way you get out of it because you need to
So
build a
right now
new
I don't
identity.
even. Yeah, right now I don't even think about how what my parents even think about me and stuff. I am just
Yeah.
very clear about it. Like I just have to satisfy two people in my life: my
Yeah.
6-year-old self and my 60-year-old self. That's all. Simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, six
And
year.
your current self as well.
Yeah, current self is always in the present. It's
Yeah.
like if I'm able to satisfy my 6-year-old Gokul, 60-year-old Gokul, current will always be in a productive
Mm-hmm.
state.
Yeah.
So that's all.
I just want to know now. Let's get into like what you're doing right now. So I checked out the LinkedIn page, basic stuff. So right now you have two companies. One is Hysteresis Private Limited. It's the parent company, you could say.
Yeah, that is a company name. Evaluate AI is the product name.
Yeah. So just give me a little brief. I know what Evaluate does, but for the audience, can you give me like a little brief about Hysteresis and also Evaluate? Like what do these both do and how are they connected?
It was supposed to be a robotics company.
Hysteresis.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a robotics company.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was figuring it out, things with my friends and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
understood it requires a lot of capital.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't come from a capital centric background or things. I'm not a person who is having a lot of VC connects and stuff. So
Hmm.
then I was like, I need to bootstrap it. I need to make it by my
Yeah.
own. So let us convert this into an edtech.
Hmm.
And I'll do something that my faculties or my teachers wouldn't have done. That is
Hmm.
engaging the class, making them learn the actual stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
making them to learn at a super affordable cost.
Hmm.
So I was the only guy in entire Pune to train people on data science, and that too at 2,000
Interesting.
rupees. And we got good kind of attraction. My
2000 for what exactly?
2,000 for entire data science. I'll teach you from scratch. Python, R.
The entire course type
Yes,
thing.
6 months.
How 6 months, 2000 rupees.
Yes,
Man, you really needed to learn pricing really early in life.
100%. But I was in my
Yeah.
fourth year. It was a good pocket money for me.
Yeah.
And my
But just
customers.
I would say you could add 1 0 or maybe 2 zeros in front of it if you just knew how pricing works.
I know. I could have
Yeah.
made a good amount of money, but yes,
Yeah.
even I was learning and I'm parallelly teaching, so
Yeah, of
I
course.
shouldn't be charging much. That's what I was feeling. I was working ethically from my standpoint, and I used to train them for 6 months. My students were great teachers who were already doing
Mm-hmm.
PhD and things, and also some
Hmm.
students. I got 4 of them placed
Mm-hmm.
before even I could get placed. So, so they were. That was a motivating factor for me. because
Mm-hmm.
I trained them good in data science, I trained them good in Python. So it's bound to happen that if somebody knows stuff,
Yeah.
companies are definitely going to recruit.
And you just need to like present yourself a certain way to companies and tell them how you're beneficial, because ultimately, even as a business owner, you're trying to sell yourself, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm good at this, I'm good at that. So when you say Hysteresis was supposed to be a robotics company, and then you said you didn't really have connects for capital, or connects with like wealthy or sort of VCs, people, kind of people. So what is Hysteresis now? Is it just software development company? Are there more arms to it? Like, what is it now?
So we are into a lot of space,
Mm-hmm.
like training, hire, train, deploy model, development,
Mm-hmm.
mentoring, coaching,
Okay.
and Evaluate AI is our second product. The
Mm-hmm.
first product was Sister Chat, Hysteresis Chat, Sister Chat, which we renamed it to Nexter Chat. So we put
Mm-hmm.
in a boom in it. We burned 45 lakhs in that product, and we weren't able to make any sort of profit in it. And
Oh, damn.
yeah, but I wouldn't call it as failure, but it has taught me a lot. I was focusing on too
Sure.
many things. If I'm using Google Meet, I will think, why don't I build Google Meet? If I'm using Gmail, why don't I build Gmail? So we eventually built a lot of things inside Nexter Chat. It was the basic idea was like anybody who will come and chat, who will come and code, can challenge their friends to code.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of your friends have completed this coding problem
Mm-hmm.
will be visible there, and you can share your to-do reminders and stuff with your friends.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you can learn courses, you can learn together, you can put the comments together. Only your friends will be able to see your comments.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, you can do audio video call. It was running on WebRTC, similar
Mm-hmm.
what we are doing right now in Google Meet,
Hmm.
WebRTC kind of thing. So all those things happen on parallel. I thought of using Agora IO. It's a Chinese-based company. We use the free trial of it, but yes, I felt like we should be able to build our own. And eventually, by building,
Hmm.
building, building, we even built our own GitHub kind of a clone. So all those things happened, and we kept on
How big
building.
of a team do you have?
No, that time we had good folks. We had around 14 people,
Mm-hmm.
including interns, but there was no fixed direction. I
Got it.
was building whatever I would feel. Yeah, man, this may work. This may work. Oh, this I saw an ad. This product is doing good.
Mm-hmm.
All drill down to one single product right now. That is Evaluate AI.
Okay.
That is like for the HRs right now, for
Yeah.
the companies. Come, put a prompt, get placed. Simple.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
for
a very
HRs, it is
interesting
come
thing.
put a prompt. For HRs, it is come put a prompt and get your candidates on board. And
Mm-hmm.
for students, come put a prompt, do the self evaluation, and do the practice.
It's a very interesting platform actually, because nobody actually, like, at least from my side, like how much I have looked into AI, I think nobody has really connected AI into real life stuff like you are doing right now, because I haven't seen many products around that, because people are doing for like around a lot of AI chatbots and stuff, but connecting AI to real life hiring, getting jobs and HR and internships and etc and packages and stuff, that's very interesting perspective on it. Like, so in on this platform, let's say like if a student comes, he's just like graduated from college, what does he do? Like in three simple steps, what does he do to get a job?
If a student comes in, the student can browse what all companies are currently hiring, can
Mm-hmm.
take a mock interview there,
Okay.
and they can paste the job description or upload the JD in PDF format in that platform, and they'll be able to get the complete simulation of the entire drive that will be happening there. So they can go with round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6. So it's simple question that I ask college students is, who taught you to ride cycle? How did you
Mm.
learn how to ride cycle? I'm asking you, Vansh, how did you learn to ride a bicycle?
Uh, by a lot of failures, through a lot of
Yes,
failures.
you got into the cycle.
Yeah.
You fell down 2 3 times. You
Yeah.
got up again. You again
Mm-hmm.
fell down 2 3 times. You got up again. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually now you understood what not to do so that I don't fall,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? So
Yep.
or you would have figured out what should I do to lose the balance and what should be avoided to continue the balance clearly.
Yeah.
So that's the best way of learning technically.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if someone is too protected in life, or they're not trying everything, or they're just going to one direction, which is the safer direction for them, which they think is safe, I think they're gonna fail in other spheres of life very soon.
Yeah, correct.
Because the fear of failure never goes away, and that is one thing that business has taught me as well. That if you want something, you need to ask for it. Nobody's going to hand it to you, and
Correct.
you just need to, like try anything and everything to get what you want.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
because people like I have a perception. For example, in business, I was never sort of a nervous guy. I was like, there's nothing to lose, and the best thing about business for me was that there was always context. Because when let's say I'm approaching you, or I'm approaching a realtor when I was working with in real estate, I have context that I want to provide this service to you. This is the benefits. This is the cost. Let me know if you want it, right? There's
Correct.
context. There's a meeting happening every, etc., etc. That helped me in other spheres of life, that if you have great context, you can have a great conversation.
Yes. Correct.
Because without context, it feels very random, and that's where anxiety comes in, nervousness comes in, and everything else comes in, for me at least. you
Correct.
know
Correct.
yeah. Yeah. So right now, Eval 8 AI, is it profitable?
100% yes.
Great, it's profitable. So what do you evaluate it based on? Like, is it about users? Is it about the packages? Like, what is it being evaluated on,
So
according to you?
evaluation is, it is evaluating your skills and where you need to improve,
Mm-hmm.
and what to be done so that you can come out of your existing structure, and how you can be better about it. So say for
Mm-hmm.
example, if a full stack developer is searching for job, okay, what
Yeah.
does typical student who is aspiring to be a full stack developer do? They go into some coaching classes, pay some lakhs of money, and
Mm-hmm.
then get eventually trained on those platforms and things, and they ultimately they will be um, writing code, building full stack applications, showing the projects in their resume, keeping
Yeah.
on GitHub,
Mm-hmm.
linking it to their LinkedIn and stuff. But
Hmm.
ultimately, still they still find difficult to get placed, and they are still lacking to get job, and they
Yeah.
are still in a zone that, hey man, why did I even pay this 2 lakh rupees or 1 lakh rupee to whatever institution comes in, right? And ultimately the institution will be like, hey, see, you didn't put the efforts, you didn't clear the interview, your communication was not good, your this was not good, your
Hmm.
this that was not good. While taking the admission, while student getting enrolled into that course, they'll be talking about, hey, see, we have got everybody placed, we don't give placement guarantee program, but we have not seen anybody unplaced after completing our program, as if they are the ones who are going to solve the unemployment problem in the entire
Yeah.
country. So technically that doesn't happen. You take multiple interviews, you will understand where you lack. Learning is basically for free. You can learn it from
Yeah.
YouTube, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you're using.
Yeah.
Favorite is Kimi 2.5, it's really good. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a huge fan of Sarvam, Indian startup. It's really good, doing good.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of platforms to learn. You have a lot of platforms to explore. If you really want to learn,
Yeah.
we are launching our autonomous learning agent. So that will
Really?
teach you from scratch as a personal one-on-one mentor who will be
For
coming holding
regarding
your
hiring or skills?
for skills. It'll train you.
Okay. Oh,
It'll train
nice.
you from scratch, like Linux, AWS, Munstack. It'll write code in front of you. It'll remove it. It'll ask you to write a different piece of code for achieving the same. It'll make a cart page. It'll say that this is how I have made it. Can you make it better?
Mm-hmm.
Or can you make another cart page
Hmm.
without looking at my code? That's how
Hmm.
AI will be conversing with you.
Hmm.
And it'll eventually train you way better than what you,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, you went to some green logo based coaching class where 120 people were there and
Yeah.
stuff, and you couldn't actually focus what is happening in the class.
Yeah.
Rather, you would be more focused on where am I seated, how am I seated, what is happening.
Who's looking at
Okay,
me? Is the teacher
yeah,
looking good at not? Is this
yeah,
teacher going to scold me, or some
yeah,
bullshit?
yeah. If in case they throw a chalk piece or something, will it
Yeah.
hurt me? Yeah, same problem. I am also a backbencher, so I
Yeah.
am able to relate it. So that's how the
Yeah.
thing. So this is how the things would be going on in the coaching class also. So
Mm-hmm.
if you just see currently a lot of coaching classes and stuff, they are having great interiors. They'll make it feel good, like they are you're almost placed, right? They'll make you feel like that. So your subconscious mind is almost satisfied clearly
Mm-hmm.
that yes, boss,
Yeah.
I am in a great interior. I am in got into this kind of a zone. I'll definitely be placed. I'll definitely
You're
do
paying
well
for
in
the
life.
interior yourself. You don't realize that
Hundred
until the
percent.
end.
100%. So
This air
ultimately, they'll
conditioning is being paid by my 2 lakhs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the charges of the trainers are also not much. If they are really good at something, they would have
Mm.
got a job. Some
Yeah.
are really passionate. I've seen great trainers really passionate about training, and they
Yeah.
do really good job.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you can't retain great trainers. That's the reality.
Yep.
If the trainer is so good, so innovative, the trainer would be getting opportunities somewhere else, and that would excite them to build their own product ultimately.
Hmm.
Trainers are the ones who will be building amazing product in the future. Sam Altman was a
Yeah.
trainer. He's in Y Combinator. He was guiding training startups and stuff. So if you just see,
Oh,
there are a lot of Y Combinator videos about Sam Altman.
was he part of the PayPal mafia or not? I don't think he was, right? He
He
wasn't,
wasn't
right?
part of it. Elon Musk was part of it. Reid
Yeah.
Hoffman was part of it. Then
Yep.
Palantir, Peter Thiel was part of it.
But all these
So there
people are
are,
connected to Sam Altman.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah,
also a
it's
part of that mafia directly, indirectly, because he had a lot of people.
yeah.
He also made an app called as Looped, and
I
through
saw
that,
about that like a couple of days
yeah,
ago. There was some shady stuff around it as well, right?
yeah,
Around
yeah.
Loop.
So there are a lot of things in location-based standpoint. You can see where your friends are located and how you can take it forward from there, and you can share the location and who is going to reach at what point of time. You can ask your friends to come at a single location standpoint. Through it was a mini kind of a social network that he was trying to build. I
Yeah.
don't know. Eventually, it
I
succeeded
think
or did not succeed.
no. I read about it actually. I think he sold it to some I think VC or company. But the
Yeah,
problem with it was I think he sort of lied about the number of users. He said he told them that there are these many million users, but actually the users were like a lot less, like in the thousands.
yeah, correct.
By the time he sold it, so I think that was some shady stuff that was going on with it. But yeah, like AI is actually progressing at a very weird kind of pace right now, because it has been a linear graph towards the up. Like in when it was
Correct.
starting out, it was really slow, and now just like it's popping out of everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. What I
Do
read
you
about him was he sacrificed 11 years for behind this OpenAI company,
Mhm.
not taking any sort of salary, sleeping in the office and stuff. Typically, what founders do, and that is a norm there. The point is, in India, it's not a norm. In India, they'll say nikamma, nalayak, and everything, but there it is like, okay, he's trying out something. Let something would
Yeah, I
catch
think
up.
there's another reason for that as well, because I think when you are in a foreign country like USA or in any place of Europe, I just think like they don't give a shit about you. You know, like what you're doing is you doing it, because like even if your parents are there, I think they're just involved in their own stuff. Like
Correct.
dad is watching TV, mom is like out there with her friend or something, and you are out there building company. They'll call you once a week. Oh, what's up? What are you doing? Let's catch up. I think people are here are a bit over involved in your life most of the times. Like I think there it's the opposite. They are way too less involved. I think that's also not healthy.
Yeah.
Like just catching up in once in a month. Even your parents call you once a month. Like, what's up? Are you alive?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's one of the
Correct.
reasons why people have been able to build there, because nobody is disturbing them and they have to prove their worth themselves.
Status driven. We are all status driven.
Not all, but yeah, most of us are.
Most
Yep.
of us, 100%. Like if you just
Yeah.
see, you wouldn't share much of your data with some stranger, and but now it is changing anyway. Western culture and globalization is changing us
Yeah.
anyway, because
Hmm.
today nobody's job is safe. Anybody can migrate to any place,
Yep.
and that's what the platform is all about. That's what the thing is.
Yeah.
Like since the job is progressing faster, transitioning faster, you can
Hmm.
learn things faster. You can take a mock of the same kind of a tools and
Hmm.
techniques in the interview itself. Take a mock here, do it 100 times, 200 times. Eventually, you
Yeah.
will become better at it. You'll be the best at it. If you're able to do it for 200 times, you're able to clear our interview for 200 times through our AI powered interview. I think you are some sort of genius who are able to do that,
Hmm.
okay, with highest difficulty. And for students, we are launching this at a very, very affordable price point. It's 9999. And there we are
Double nine, double
ensuring
nine. So 10,000 rupees for
almost, yeah, 10,000 rupees almost
one time
for
fees or monthly?
one year.
That's totally fine actually.
Yeah.
The PS5 subscription is more than that, yearly.
Okay.
It's I
Okay.
think it's about 8K yearly, but you're just getting to play games for that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. People can
And you
definitely
you
afford that.
you got it for 9999. You can practice it for unlimited number of times. You can develop a lot of skills like communication skills, analytical skills, how the interviews
Yeah.
are being done. And
Yep.
our AI will be doing it in a conversation standpoint. It'll be conversing with them, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
try to mimic exactly what HRs would be asking in the questions. And there
Hmm.
will be also behavioral rounds, technical rounds,
Hmm.
where the student has to go through a lot of things. Okay. And ultimately, there is a software development round as well, where the
Mm-hmm.
student is evaluated on how good the person is able to code. Like, does the student know about this? Does the student knows
Yeah.
about the REST APIs, Ajax, and all those things? I may
Hmm.
be talking technical, but it is not just limited to technical. It is also for sales. Sales role play is there, and if
Oh,
somebody
nice.
is applying for sales role play, it will come in a different way. Like there will be a role play approach where AI will be bargaining. Why shouldn't I use this product, which is cheaper than your
Hmm.
current product? There'll be case studies where you need to talk to your clients in a way that convinces them to buy your product.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, because I also need. I would probably buy that because I also need to have some sales role play as well. Because my primary job in Mango Finds is also about sales. Like I handle the whole operations around cold emails, campaigns, getting the people to calls and then closing them and etc etc. So that's interesting actually. So right now you told me about evaluate .ai, which is your product. You told me about hysteresis, and you're telling me about this chatbot you're making. So right now, is hysteresis making the chatbot, or is it like a separate thing?
Hysteresis is the company name. Like you see Zepto, right?
Yeah.
So Zepto is the product name and Get It India Private Limited is the company name. It's like Evaluate AI is the product name, Hysteresis Private Limited is the company name.
Okay.
Technically, I registered this company just to get some GST benefits. Honestly,
Oh,
let
of
me just
course.
talk about
It's
it.
all
Yeah,
legal. It's all
because
legal. It's all legal.
when you go to companies and when you charge a bill and they are like you don't have a GST number, we are an
Yep.
MNC and stuff. Yeah, boss. Now I have GST number. Feel free to pay us. So that's how the things are.
Yeah.
And yeah. So see, the corporate trainings are always competitive in the market. I'm always been one of the costliest paid corporate trainer in certain domains. Okay,
Nice.
so
Finally,
but
you're
still,
getting your worth.
yeah, it's not exactly worth. I know that I'm getting overpaid. I'm 100% sure I'm overpaid for sure because I have seen trainers having 26, 27 years experience. They go at 50% of my cost for
Oh.
the corporate training opportunities. So
Okay.
think about it. This is how I have been positioning myself, and I've been solving the
So
problem.
it's interesting actually. So eval.ai, I'm very like eval8.ai. I'm interested in how do you actually sort of onboard customers? Is like what's your marketing channels right now? Like a little bit.
Till now, I have. We don't rely on digital marketing till now. We have not gone into digital marketing. We
Yeah,
have
great.
just
It's
given it
kind of
to.
shit.
Yeah, we have just given it to some users and they have onboarded many of them because many of them are getting placed in less than 30, 40 days. Because they just need, see, everybody is almost prepared for the job. It just almost prepared. They
Yeah.
just have to just understand how the things actually work. Once they
Yeah.
figure it out, getting
It's
placed.
done. Okay. So evaluate.ai, can you reveal like it's up to you. Can you reveal the users, like how many users are there from each side? Like how many companies are onboarding and how many people are looking for job? Like because there are those two spheres, right? One is people who are looking for jobs and one is companies who are hiring, right?
Last week we placed around 26 of them. Few of them at 5.5 LPA, few of them at
I
8.5
saw it on a
LPA.
website. It's
Yeah.
like a scrolly thing, 5
Yep.
LPA, 8.5 LPA, 5 LPA. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
has to be updated 3 hours back. One more student got placed. So it's
Hmm.
9 LPA.
Nice.
And this keeps on happening. Okay. And our
Yeah.
target is like we have to place 100 students every week. That's our
Mm-hmm.
target right now because we have 4,000 users. So I need to be more aggressive in getting more companies and doing more placements here.
Yeah, sure.
That is one thing. So
What's your ticket size like for the students and for the HR? Like, are both the sides paying or is one side paying? What's the model like?
both the sides are paying. Every HR would be paying some amount per interview basis,
Okay.
and students would be paying, as I said, for unlimited access is 9999. But
Mm-hmm.
if in case they don't want to pay for complete access, they can pay some smaller ticket size. It's a sacheting kind of a thing that we are doing. Like
Okay.
you can pay some 90, 100 rupees, 89 or 99 rupees just for 4 or 5 interviews into our platform.
Well, that's
Just recharge the
nice.
wallet and
100
take
rupees
it.
for 5 interviews is nothing. Like,
100 rupees,
because,
yeah.
I spend more than that on Zomato every day. So yeah,
Great.
yeah. I think, it's not just me. I think many people who don't come from such a privileged background, they spend more on Zomato as well.
Correct.
Yeah,
You go
because
outside, you have some like 2 3 snack items. One burger, one coffee will cost you around 250 rupees.
no more,
So
more,
yeah,
more.
yeah, more than that. Yeah.
At
I'm
least
just telling the
400.
cheapest one that if you just have it, yeah,
Cheapest,
even if
even the
that,
cheapest, I think is more than that now.
yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah.
want to get
Just
decent
considering a
quality.
rough approx of
Yeah.
say 250 rupees, even if you consider it as
Mm-hmm.
250 rupees. In 250 rupees, I think you should be able to take almost like 6 or 7 interviews in our platform minimum,
Mm-hmm.
end-to-end interviews with software development and with communication and everything. So
Yeah.
you will be super confident when you walk into a room filled
Mm-hmm.
with tech heads and when they are asking you some questions.
Hmm.
So you will be the way you would be answering would be way different and way more convincing with some sort of self conviction that will come into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would have already done a lot of mocks here.
Yeah. I have an interesting question which is not related to any of the platforms. It's just a general question. So right now, as we discussed earlier, that AI is progressing at a crazy rate right now, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, since you're way more involved than me in AI stuff. So what do you think? Like, I believe to a certain extent that AI was progressing a lot faster before as well, but it's just that they're unveiling it now. I think when they launched, when massive companies launched AI into the market, I think at that point they were much further ahead, and they specifically intentionally launched older models which they have already made. I just believe that for some reason.
Okay, I would say it's more than a rumor, because even
Mm-hmm.
many of the senior folks used to say that Samsung has their smartphone models till 2040, but they're still releasing slowly, one by one, one by one, to get in more customers and get in more money and stuff. See, that's one way of thinking, but if you
Mm-hmm.
just see the research papers from
Mm-hmm.
1960s, 1970s, there is a research paper about machine learning.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
before even computers actually reached out to every home
Mm-hmm.
of any of the middle class people, and computer became a very big instrument at home. But even before that, way before that, even machine learning research papers were there. Isaac Asimov published a lot of docs on the same. He's considered father of robotics. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things inside in their books. Okay, and by 1990s and things, even Steve Jobs was giving a speech about it and telling that we can actually build something in
Hmm.
which we can interview a real person without the real person itself, just by feeding the data.
Hmm.
So technically he was talking about text to speech, speech to text at that point of time.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the
so
ideas were in their
everybody,
head before. It was not
yeah,
practical though.
yes, it was not practical there, because our systems, see, everything gets evolved with one single thing. So something is getting innovated, another thing will leverage that
Yeah.
innovation and take it one step forward.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
our smartphones, computers, and all is coming into our desktop pockets is because of the transistors.
Yeah.
The transistor revolution happened in 1960s, 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, we were able to compress the entire big computing machines that IBM used to have long back into
Yeah.
small laptops and pocket phones and stuff. So one idea leveraged another, another idea got leveraged and everything. So by
Mm-hmm.
leveraging a lot of processes one by one, we have eventually ended up in Gen AI. Gen AI is technically not Gen AI. Chat GPT, full form of Chat GPT is generative pre-trained transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that is actually not AI. Inside AI, we have machine learning. Inside machine learning, yes, supervised, unsupervised, and everything. But subset of machine learning is deep learning.
Yeah.
Subset of deep learning is neural networks. Inside the neural networks, there's a concept of transformer, generators, discriminators, and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's how the things are.
Got it. So let's just I think my question was I understood what you said, but let's just zoom out a little bit. And what about government tech? For example, have you heard of I think you would have heard of Palantir, right?
Yeah, Palantir.
Yeah. So, do you think that Palantir has some tech which is not going to be unveiled to the general public for a very long time because it's government tech?
Yeah, yeah. So it is okay. I'll tell you that that guy who had been working as Peter Thiel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's the founder of that, and he only hired folks who would be motivated by data, not by money.
Mm-hmm.
And they are king in tracking a lot of things. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
started eventually supporting U.S. military, U.S. defense, and everything
Yeah.
one by one. Right, that's how the things are.
Parenting is actually very interesting to just think about because the kind of stuff they talk about sometimes is crazy to even think about because they don't really have something to show for it, but they're probably doing it behind the scenes.
Yeah. So the point is that they wanted to give the data to US completely end to end, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do kind of a serious big partnership with US people, and
Yeah.
yeah, they are into more into data. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something called as, see, it's not just about data, it's just an idea
Mm-hmm.
which would be needed. See, how would the Neptune sphere even succeed if Palantir wouldn't have given the data to them in a proper standpoint? Like, where is Osama bin Laden? How do they trace it?
Yeah.
What is the
Sure.
data behind it? Where is
Mm-hmm.
that data coming from? Right.
Yeah.
So everybody, lot of companies are behind it, working on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's
just
very
US just
interesting
figured
actually.
out. Yeah, it's not just US just figured out. President understood. Yeah, he should be here, and we'll just shoot down him or something.
Yeah. I think companies like these also manufacture tech for intelligence agencies for the
100%.
yeah,
Yes.
like CIA, Mossad, KGB, etc., etc. Not
100%.
not Palantir, but like
Yeah.
each of them have their own contractors. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even Palantir is involved. It's like
with CIA,
everywhere it is
right?
being involved and stuff. See, that is the thing. If you just see a lot of things in US, they are literally folks are either too much data driven or too much what do you call
Money
monotony
driven.
driven. Yeah, money driven,
driven.
monotony driven. They want the world to be in some sort of monotony and schedule, and
Mhm.
they should be doing a lot of creative stuff.
Got it.
This is how they are.
Yeah.
You see a lot of youth right now getting
Mhm.
addicted to a lot of stuff. You have alcohol addiction, cigarette addiction, pornography
Yeah.
addiction.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
know which is the number one company publishing a lot of pornographic content and holding major stakes in a lot of pornographic.
I think I've heard about it,
thing.
but I don't remember it right now. What was the company's name?
The company name is MindGeek.
It sounds like a gaming company.
Yeah, it sounds like a gaming company, but it was actually a digital marketing company.
Digital
The founder
marketing.
the founder is an SEO genius, and it is being funded by
Clearly.
JP Morgan.
Funded
And
by
it is
JP
being-
Morgan.
Yes, one of the
Great.
JP Morgan Chase, one of the biggest banks in
Yeah.
US.
JP Morgan
about it.
has been coming up in so much shady stuff recently because I don't know if you're.
They are not coming up right now. They are not coming up. It's getting revealed right now.
Yeah.
So
that it has been unveiled to public.
Yeah.
Have you been up to date with the Epstein files and stuff?
Epstein, yeah, I was reading about it. Yeah. They did it also traced back about what do you call Bill Gates' affairs with few girls long back. So
No, not
it was
talking
able
about that. That is like very human stuff. What I'm talking about JP Morgan. So I was going through something in that. So what came out was that JP Morgan just like a couple of days ago flagged 4,700 transactions of Epstein in regards to human trafficking, which they did not sort of flag earlier. So there were 4,700 transactions over 10 years in terms of human
everything.
trafficking.
That's what I was talking about. They even
Yeah.
traced back about the Bill Gates and stuff. And
Yeah.
from that point of time when it was getting revealed in the newspaper and stuff, I was researching about it.
Yeah.
Everything is interconnected at the end.
Yeah.
JP Morgan funding.
It's weird.
MindGeek.
Honestly, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like if you just think from a human standpoint, you are a billionaire, you have resources, you have like the best life in terms of what you want and what you need. You maybe have a little bit of stress, but you probably have stress tolerance up until now.
Yeah.
If I describe a general billionaire's life, why the hell do you have to get involved in such shitty, shady bullshit stuff? Like I just
Eventually
don't get it.
eventually that happens actually. Like they would be like there's a saying somewhere I had read it. I'm not able to trace back where I read it.
Mhm.
So it is like the happiest creatures in this planet are the ones who are in the middle part of the complete cycle.
Yeah.
The super rich and the super poor would always be unhappy. Super poor would think money can solve their problem, and super rich want to do something superficial or artificial so that
Something that money alone cannot achieve, right? Something like that.
yeah, you can say that pure dominance.
Yeah. I think that would happen, but again, like I think at that level of richness, morality doesn't really play a role. I think in
Yeah,
their minds.
yeah. So that's what right now if we just see a lot of people losing their track, going into something else, and spoiling their lives and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's one more motivation for us to bring people on track,
Yeah.
making them to crack jobs, understand what the platform is, try to take more and
Yeah.
more mock interviews. They'll understand where they stand and how they can get into the companies.
Yeah, I think we need a tool in like it could be AI tool, it could be general tool, I don't know. But we really need a tool which will sort of break us from our distractions. Not this whole like like journal apps or something like that. Like something very serious about sort of breaking us from distractions and the overload of information right now. Because I think there is a serious, massive overload of information right now going on.
It's not massive overload of information. Like this is the time that we are actually storing the data. Till now, whatever had happened in the past, we might not be storing the data. 85% of the data is being generated in the last 5 or 6 years of time. Like why only last 6 years? Because our database became stronger. We figured out a way how to manipulate the data, data engineering, data science, and all came.
I was actually talking about like social media and stuff for general people. Like the massive overload is from like YouTube videos, like web series, movies, and stuff. Like people are getting so involved in that movies or web series, like on a mental standpoint, they become an escape from your natural life. Same with gaming.
Yes, correct.
Like I just won't want to think about my shitty situation in life, so I'll just invest my 8 episodes into this series, 8 hours into
Yeah.
this series, and I'll just get invested in it, so I can escape from my shitty situation in life. I think
Yeah.
I've realized that with myself as well. Like when I'm stressed about something, I just deep dive into something else, so it takes me away from that. Has that happened with you?
You can say that I understood that I'm getting into too much of scrolling YouTube videos and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
limited my phone time. After 9 minutes, some seconds, my YouTube will stop working. And in
Yeah.
case I have seen enough number of reels, say 7 or 8 reels, it'll automatically stop working. I can't open YouTube again unless and until I go to the settings and re-enable it.
Yeah.
So such kind of things I'd been using. But I have a simple question for you, Vansh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you know how many videos are getting uploaded in YouTube every minute?
Every minute.
Yeah.
I think I had the figure for a day, but I don't know about every minute. I would throw out a random guess. Let's say 28,000
Okay. Can you tell me number of minutes? Like
number
number
of
of minutes of videos or number of hours of videos getting uploaded in every.
every minute. Oh, nice. Damn. Uh, uh, Global YouTube.
Yeah.
Global YouTube. Okay. I would just throw out a random figure. Let's say 50 million hours.
Okay. It was too much, but yeah, slightly lesser than that. You can consider it as
I heard a
minimum
I
of
Yeah.
100,000 hours or so. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
consider 100,000 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you know how many hours human being lives in this planet? Consider
No.
consider a person living for 100 years. Okay, consider them 12 months, so
Mm-hmm.
1200 months, and in every month, how many hours do we have? 720 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just multiply that by this, what is the
Mm-hmm.
figure that is coming out?
Yeah, I'll have to do that, bro. Like my maths is not that good.
Okay, 1200 months is what our lifetime is.
Yeah. 1200 months.
1200 months.
Yeah.
Every month has 720 hours.
Yeah.
Chuck that 20, so that is 700 hours approx.
Yeah.
700 into 1200 months. So 1200 into 100 is how much? 1 lakh 20.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? 1 lakh 20. Yeah, 1 lakh 20 and 8 lakh 40,000 hours.
Yep. 8,47 hours. Yep.
Yeah. And every minute, at least, even if we consider 3-4 lakh hours of content getting uploaded on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
do you know how many lifetimes it will take us to consume all of that content?
I don't know, man. Like plenty lifetimes, I think.
Yeah. So even if I consider 1 hour of the global standpoint, in 1 hour, so many videos getting uploaded, live stream, this stream, that stream, commented, one YouTuber
Yeah,
mocking
there's
another
so
YouTuber,
much
this, that,
stuff, and there's so many like small worlds, in YouTube or in Netflix. Because, like, if you just see Marvel, Marvel has its own small world, which is not so small now.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
it's a fucking hellbat of its own. Like there's so much stuff, so many series, so many movies that if you want to get involved in it, you need to see everything before that and stuff. Like
correct,
there is so many small worlds forming.
correct.
Even
So
it,
think about this. Think about
yeah,
this. I'm just
yeah,
talking about YouTube. Now we have Facebook, Instagram,
gaming,
other social networks. Yeah. Snapchat. A lot of things are there. So if everything comes in a single go,
yeah.
one day of content will take at least 4-5 lifetimes of any human being to consume that.
It's crazy, damn crazy. Because yeah, I think it's a time for prioritizing what you need in life. I think that's it.
100%.
Because if you start trying to consume a lot of stuff online, you'll get involved in it, and you would have zero time to work on yourself, work on your personality, on your mental well-being, physical well-being, etc., etc. I think, yeah, it's time to prioritize, I think. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. So everything gets pivoted, everything gets. So everybody has prioritized things. Even YouTube started as a dating company. So then eventually they started
Yeah, the first
becoming
company
into
was
the.
dating company, right? I think at
Yeah,
first it
YouTube
started.
was being started by Dutch people. One Dutch guy was a co-founder of YouTube. I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, so that guy wanted to make a dating site where people can upload videos and others can see it. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
they started. And then eventually it got acquired by Google, and they were using JW Player, and then Google was able to build their own player on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's how the things came into the picture.
Yeah, I remember that it was sold for like a few billion, and now it generates like some crazy figure every
1
single
billion.
month. Yeah,
Yeah,
1.4
yeah,
something. I think that was
yeah.
the
One
figure.
one point something billion, and that they generate every week right now.
I think more than that. They generate more than that every week
Yeah,
now.
that's a minimum cap. Yeah,
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing about tech businesses. Like once one of your product gets successful, you build around it. You build an ecosystem around it, I think. right?
Correct.
So that like people can relate to it. For example, when Netflix came out, I think it started with DVDs, like DVD delivery service, something like that, and then it came into streaming, and now they're going into gaming. They've
Yeah.
acquired games, and they're selling it.
They okay. I'll tell you, they are not just a OTT company. They have made their own API things like Netflix Conductor, so
Oh,
you can make multiple requests in a single standpoint. They also made Fast.com, so they have multiple things in the underlying architecture. If you just open, they
yeah,
also have made their own blogging page, and they have a lot of things inside.
that's
And
something
they're
new to
not
me.
just into they are not just into OTT. That's why they come
Hmm.
under the FANG. The N stands for Netflix. So if
Yeah,
this
it's
was just a
interesting.
streaming company, they wouldn't have reached there.
Yeah.
And they have built their entire architecture on AWS and Amazon. Like got into Prime Video, they acquired
Hmm.
a company, OTT company, and Netflix never thought that they would be having a competitor from the Amazon itself.
Yeah.
So that's a competitive market anyway.
Yeah, one sad thing I see about companies is like when the founder starts it, he starts it with a vision of I'll do this and I'll be perfect at this and my platform will be number one at this, right? For
Yeah.
example, Amazon started as a bookstore, online bookstore, right?
Mm. Yeah.
But eventually, when investors come in, when more people join you, when more minds join you, ultimately that becomes a collective vision. And when the founder loses his stake, and there's like a executive table, there's a like a lot of people involved. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of minds come in and they think about, what's the best for like what's the best food to be profitable, what's the best to expand our reach, what's the best to be dominative in market. So it just impersonate, like the personalization of the platform dies there, right then and there, right? I think many, very less companies have been able to maintain that similar type of vision for their entire lifetime.
Correct. So we are also sticking in the same part. We have pivoted twice anyway. So
Have you
it
raised
requires a lot
funds?
of
Have you raised money until now?
no, I have not. We are
Great.
bootstrapped.
Yeah, please be bootstrapped. There is just too many
Yes.
companies raising money. I think we need more
Yes.
bootstrapped companies where the founder
Yes.
can have the majority say.
Yeah, but bootstrap people don't actually come on media and they don't
Yeah,
get much of political support as well. If you see Zoho, like how many of you are using Zoho Mail and stuff? It's bootstrap company. How
yeah,
many of you have zero accounts? It's bootstrap company. So
yep.
we have two great IT companies in entire India, which is bootstrap, that is Zoho and Zerodha.
Zerodha I know about. Zoho
Yeah.
not so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zoho, I am huge fan of the founder of Zoho. His name is Sridhar Vembu.
Okay.
So he started the company in Tenkasi in India. So
Hmm.
he hired sons of farmers, daughters of tailors and stuff, and then he started this company somehow.
Yeah.
And he's running it from a small village, and capital cost is less, and you can get more productivity from there.
Yeah.
And living example that any company can be started anywhere in the entire country and can compete
Yep.
with Silicon Valley based companies.
Yeah, of course. I just think that India will take a lot of time to pivot towards actual success, where people will actually have their autonomy to work themselves and actually be able to build in India. Because I think India, the biggest thing India needs to lose right now is the old mentality which has been developed because of the colonization and everything which has happened in the last 1,000 years. I would say even before the Britishers, we had Mughal empires, we had different empires. So I think Indians have been ingrained with the sort of mentality. I think it's like we were talking earlier about past traumas. I think it's similar with the biology of Indians. Like people say
Correct.
Indians think a certain way, they don't have civic sense. I just say like think deeper about it. Like for the last thousand, at least like last 600-700 years, we have been imprisoned by one person or the other, and we have been fighting the whole time. So obviously, in our biology, it's ingrained to save money. Obviously, it's ingrained to have a secure path, to not like go into some risky stuff. I think
And we have
it's
some schools coming in which is promoting we have these many startups, we have these many incubations and stuff. So
yeah,
I think that should be the standpoint.
yeah.
When
We
when a
have to
parent
reverse
walks in,
engineer from there.
yeah, when a parent walks into a college, they typically start with what is the placement rate, what is this, what is that, how many companies are coming in, and
Yep.
everything. They should be more interested in how many patents is happening in your college, what is the contribution that your students are doing for the society.
Yeah.
Or are they doing any startups in the college? Can you show me any product built by a student?
I
That's
think
what
that will be
everybody should.
eventual. I think in 2 to 3 generations, India will be completely different because I think from the last one generation, I would say the mentality has really shifted.
Correct.
because now we're not into that limited mindset of, oh, we just need to save money, investing is risky.
Survival.
Yeah, survival, exactly,
Yeah.
survival mind in that
Correct.
case. I think
Correct.
I don't think Indians are not at fault for that, because that is ingrained in your biology to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think we had a great conversation, right? What do you think?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I love having conversation like this, because I have done like maybe 5 or 6 podcasts before this, and the first one really blew up because it was with like a travel blogger, and from them then I was like, I love podcasts, but now I've become more of a person who just wants to have a conversation, no questions beforehand, just sit here, explore you as a person. Now I'll
Yeah.
just want to end this podcast with one question, I think, because we've spent a lot of time on this as well, and you
Yeah.
must be busy as well.
Yeah.
So what is your future vision for whatever you want to do? Because you told me about evaluate.ai, about hysteresis, and about the third thing you're working on right now, which is like the chatbot, I think, right?
Autonomous
Yeah,
autonomous
chat.
learning inside Evaluate itself. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
inside
it's
Evaluate.
okay. So it's the okay. So what is your future vision in general? Not just about evaluate.ai or about hysteresis, but in general, like what do you want to do in future? Like general analysis.
In future, I feel any company, especially startups, should be able to onboard any person out of small town, village, or any of the people who wouldn't have got any sort of education in a proper format.
Yeah.
Should be able to onboard them just in 3 or 4 days of training that will happen through our platform.
Great. That's interesting. So you
That's where
want
the
to
shifting should happen. Like
yeah.
if the say I as a startup able to onboard 10 people whose annual family income is less than 1 lakh rupees,
Yeah.
I think I have done a great job. And even if I am able to pay them
Fantastic job on
25,000 who are
that.
ready to compete with whatever IT companies would be getting placed. So
Yeah.
think about people getting placed at top IT companies at 3-4 LPA. I am
Yeah.
giving somebody 2.5 or 2.4 LPA as a startup just because I'm onboarding some people who are from lower middle class or even lower class kind of people in terms of income standpoint, and they
Yeah.
are coming here and working and got trained just in 3 days through a
Mhm.
platform. So just imagine that kind of a shift that will happen.
I think it's a great thing that you think like that, but I think it's going to be a really long time frame to make that happen, because mainly because of you need to have, especially in India, you need to have a reputation first, because people judge you a lot based on that
100%. I am working on the
reputation.
same.
Yeah, and when I say reputation, I don't mean your reputation, I mean a household name. For example, IIT. Nobody knows what the hell that means, but everybody like
Yeah.
IIT, 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 JE, JE, JE.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's just like that name has got so much damn PR behind it,
Yeah.
and so much damn weight behind it, even though it doesn't have that much weight actually. So you need to have.
25% of them, 25% of IITians are not placed.
I think it's more now. It's more
Yeah. The
now.
lowest CTC is 4 LPA.
Yeah.
And I have interviewed more than 48 IITians, rejected 47 of them. One, I am just given a condition that if he's able to solve this problem, we'll be able to join. So if he doesn't solve it, I'm not going to recruit. I'm not behind this IIT tag and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are not behind it, but
Yeah.
when you think about
Majority are.
yeah, majority are, and those are your users. That's the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Majority
Yes.
are your
Yes.
users,
Correct.
and you need to change that thinking. I think
Correct.
you need to have a lot of narrative building and a lot of you have to sort of, like, that's just my opinion, by the way. You have to sort of make the barrier of entry for your platform much lower if you want to get lower economic areas, target
Yeah.
them, and just like
Correct.
onboard them, right?
Correct.
Like, because if they don't see any risk, they will try easier, and when they try easier, they'll be able to get jobs easier in an easier way.
Yeah. And if you're getting something at an easier way, then either it is not going to last with you or it is not a valid thing. You have gone in an illegal way. And by the way, I forgot to tell you a lot of things here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm solving one is the poor people getting placed into startups. That is
Yeah.
one problem that I want to solve. Second, I want to solve a very big, massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
The HRs are getting bribed when they visit campuses. The TPOs pay a lot
Oh,
of money
yeah.
for getting them placed. So
I've heard
HRs
of
are not
that.
idiots to visit some campuses, right?
Yep.
So somebody comes, somebody calls them. If really a company needs a great tech talent, why don't they put it online and why don't they conduct tests
Yeah.
in a proper format? Why the companies has to visit the
Yeah.
campuses? to hire people? That is one big question that I have. In case if they want to visit campus, let them do only one round there. Why should they have 3-4 rounds?
Yep.
And why the TPO has to negotiate? Why the college has to book the flight tickets and room accommodation, give them XYZ things, and just to recruit more folks so that they can put a
Yeah.
very big banner on their college that this company has recruited these many people and stuff. So that is one more problem that I want to really, really solve it. The founder
Yeah.
should be able to come to our platform, prompt, directly hire great folks. Don't question anybody here. Like why this being hired, why that being hired. Only the culture fit, behavior should be checked by HR.
Yep.
Recruiters or talent acquisition should not take bribes from the college just to
Yeah.
recruit some folks and give it to the L&D team so that L&D team spends
Yeah.
more time in training them. That's how the things are.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, do you think replacing the system would be easier, or do you think you should change it from within? Because I believe that to replace this system and to put your system, the one you're proposing as the majority, I would say your system needs to be a lot easier and a lot more convenient. Then the other system will die
You
on
can
its own.
you can say that I am building it more for startups. I'm not building it for MNCs. Let the MNC HRs get bribed from the colleges. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
But I don't want startups to get spoiled because of wrong hires.
Yeah.
Because many startups in our country are in a thought process that man, the talent is chunk. There's not a good candidate fit that I'm getting for my company and
Yeah.
stuff. So mostly HRs usually get bribed, and they give very low quality talent to these startups, and startups eventually think that okay, this is the max that we can do. It's our idea problem, execution problem, and things, but they never understand that's a hiring problem. Hiring, one bad hire can pull your company down by 200%. One right hire can boost your company by 20-30%. So
Yeah.
hiring wrong, hiring bad is way more dangerous than not hiring. So
True.
it goes in negative. It's like even if you
True.
don't hire versus you hired a wrong candidate,
Yep.
that's a huge difference that will happen. If you didn't hire, you may be stuck there or you'll grow slower. But if you hired a wrong person, you'll go in negative, minus.
Yeah. Hires have cost us as well, because like
Yeah.
if a hire, like we don't hire many people, we just hire social media managers and stuff and general managers so that they can just handle our clients and handle.
You would be interviewing them, right? You would be interviewing them. You're not
Yeah.
outsourcing your interview
Yeah,
part
yeah,
to
yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
else who
yeah.
would be.
We're not at that
Yeah.
scale yet that we need to do that,
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
We are more focused on profits.
Correct.
Like
Correct. Same
because
here.
we have
Same
nothing
here.
else to
Yeah.
do, we have nothing else to do. We just need to manage the creative side and the operation side, and that's about it. So yeah, I think we had a great conversation.
Perfect.
And the key takeaway I took away from it is that you were one of those guys who was interested in the depth of things and how things worked from the very beginning. And I think that
Yes.
was one of the levers that pushed you towards building your own stuff, researching, and becoming the guy you are today, right now.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
yeah, man, it was truly a good conversation. And if you don't mind me asking, what's your age right now?
I'm 26.
Great. 26 people are looking for jobs. You've already built fucking 2-3 companies, whatever. Yeah, it's great. It's really good, man. Yeah. Thanks for this. Thanks a lot for this.